Hello, everyone. Welcome to this podcast. I'm your host, Irshad Sefi, a CIO and CDO, a Stanford lead alumni, and Stanford seed mentor. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today, a trailblazing woman based out of Belgium, whose inspiring journey and achievements have set a benchmark for many. She's a lawyer by profession, founder and CEO of Advisory, innovation and change management expert, Stanford course facilitator, Lisa mentor, seed mentor, and have done advanced programs from prestigious universities such as Stanford, Harvard, Cambridge, etc. Let me welcome Eve. Thanks, Eve, for sparing your time to this podcast. Can you share a
Thank you for
bit
having
about,
me.
yeah, thanks. Can you share a bit about your journey and how you got to where you are today?
Oh, it's been a long journey if I look back, but actually, as a little girl, I already dreamt of being an attorney. It was like written in the stars. I would go in the legal field and I would be an attorney. And so I did. But from the very first day as an attorney, I entered in a world that didn't feel like it was mine. And I changed firms. So I started looking for my place in the legal industry because I really loved the way I work. I loved what I was doing, but I hated the culture. And often I consider that frustrating and fascinating both at the same time. I saw challenges within the law firms and with clients because I always worked in company law, corporate law. So the transactions, companies in difficulties, all those things. And I saw challenges there, and that's what led me to my business school journey. And I didn't plan to make it out to be a journey. I just was gonna do a course. And everybody said that's not relevant because we're attorneys, that's not relevant for us. And from the very first lesson and course, I knew this is relevant. This is exactly what we need. We have to build that bridge. And that's led me on my business school journey, as I call it in the meantime, across all those business schools to acquire the knowledge that we need
Mhm.
to really work better, work smarter, not harder, and really to innovate and transform and everything that we need there. And ever since, that's my playing fields.
This is really fascinating, Eve. So, Eve, you mentioned about the innovation, and I'm sure a lot of innovation-related aspects you may have done in the career of your while you were in the law. Now, we are hearing a lot about artificial intelligence and its applications, particularly in the law world. It can actually go and make. What is your perspective? How do you see this entire change happening?
Well, most conversations they focus on AI and the technical aspect. Actually, when we talk about innovation, we often even take it as a synonym for technology and digitalization. While innovation is doing different things and doing things differently, that's innovation. So it's not just about tech. And most conversations are held on tech. And I will try to take this conversation away from it because to make the tech work, we need to focus on the other things,
Mhm.
the business model, the culture, and so on, operational and whatnot. It's too easy and it's a band aid to just focus on tech and hope it will solve our problems. Tech isn't going to solve our problem as long as we don't understand what is the problem we're trying to solve. And if we look at the challenges of the legal industry, they're numerous, and it's not only in the legal industry, it's more global, it's broader than that. The war for talent, well-being issues, you name it. The business model is under pressure. I do hope AI and all the technology will be a catalyst to drive the change that we already need for years. But if you look at AI, it puts pressure on the way we are working. Of course, well being issues also put that pressure, but it doesn't create that same sense of urgency. With AI, we have to rethink the way we are working and the business model and whatnot.
Yeah. No, thanks, Eve. So, do you want to share some experience that for innovation related experience that you had with the law firms, and any good experience or maybe a bitter experience that you want to share, and any recommendations basis all the frameworks that you go and teach to some of these B schools that the law firms particularly or the law industry particularly should be adopting to make themselves more successful?
It's not just about the framework. Like if there's one thing, the biggest, if it's, for example, about the culture change, the biggest pitfall when it's about culture change is focus on the culture. Culture is the symptom, but the root cause of culture is something else. So to change the culture, you shouldn't focus on culture. You have to focus on something else. It's culture is shaped by behaviors, yes, but also by processes, by business models, and so on. So we have to understand how culture is shaped to change it. And often we focus on the band-aids, that outer layer. We focus on the symptoms without understanding the root causes. And that's where experiments go wrong, or that's where the pitfalls are. We like the band-aids, we like the quick fixes, but the quick fixes aren't solving anything because we have to understand how all those pieces go together. And that's also the same. If you want to succeed, you have to understand why we fail. If, for example, if it's about digital transformation and we understand why most of them fail, well, there are plenty of lists of that on internet, but they all have one key component. It's people. It's always about people, whether it's resistance, engagement, whatnot, which easily boils down to culture. But often, digital transformation, we approach it from the wrong angle. We focus on tech, and we're going to see where the rest fits in. Well, we have to turn it around. What are we trying to achieve? How are we going to get there? Which tools do we need to get there? Which tech tools do fit in to achieve that? It's a different mindset and it's a different approach. And currently, change is everywhere. So a change management project is no longer going to do it. One, two, three steps, or five, or eight, it doesn't matter how many. We have to move to that change culture. And that's a different approach. It's a different mindset, but then change becomes much easier
Hmm.
to implement in the firm.
That's really interesting. So, Eve, tell me, I know you have mentioned about a lot of things that needs to be done. Now, as a professional, and that professional could be from any industry or a person who is just a student trying to pursue their career, would you want to share some of the mistakes that they should avoid making in their life in order to be successful?
I think there's one big one. Mistakes become mistakes when there are missed opportunities. And I do mean by that, we all make mistakes. And
Mhm.
those who tell you they don't, they're lying. We all make mistakes. We're all human and we're all work in progress. We do it all the time. Big mistakes, small mistakes, it's everywhere. The problem is if we not learn something about it. And we're gonna repeat the mistake and again, and we just keep it's a pattern, it's a circle, and it's the not learning. It's not a mistake itself, it's the missed opportunity to learn about something with it.
Very interesting. One last question, Eve. You being a woman, I think you have gone from being a lawyer to gone to the B schools. Now you're teaching to so many universities. You're also a founder. Uh, are there any challenges that you see because the entire industry is male dominated? Do you want to share some experience or maybe few tips to some of our audience who are particularly women who would want to aspire from you and then can be successful as you are?
Yes, when before I went to my business school journey, before I didn't know everything that was going, what was holding me back in my career. I wasn't aware about the biases in action, the biases at play. And we have a tendency to assume if I work hard, I will get there. It's enough. And we don't pay attention to the rules that are being played, or we conform to those rules. I don't believe in that. It's find your own way, aligned with your values and what you stand for, and create your own rules. It's not a game of somebody else. It's your
Mhm.
life. It's your journey. Play according to your rules and not the expectations from others. You don't have to fit in when you're made out to belong.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I completely agree.
And I would also add, go where you're valued always. We have the tendency to look for validation in the wrong corner. If people
Yeah.
don't see the value you bring to the table, you're at the wrong table.
Yeah. And other day we were also discussing about the true meaning of success. Would you want to just share that again?
Ah, yeah, success. See, that's the thing. What is success? We have a tendency to go for success like the one with the biggest, most billables, the one with the biggest cars, with the nicest house, and all those material things. And then people end up empty and they're looking for purpose in their life. Well, I think it's both. There's nothing wrong with all the material stuff, but they will not bring us purpose. They will not bring us that sense of fulfillment and well-being and meaning that we are looking for. Meaning is found in contributing. Contributing is not self-centric. It's other-centric. It's what you do for others. It's how you're contributing to others. And whatever that might look like, it's help others grow, help them to be better. Well, if it's about all those material things, it's like a rat race we create ourselves. We always want more. We always want, yeah, it's always more, more, more.
Yeah.
And we look like this doesn't give me the sense I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Well, it's something else. We're looking for meaning, we're looking for purpose. And that is to be found in contribution. And sometimes it's a reframe. If you look at the legal industry, for example, we're both from the legal industry. And if I look at the legal industry, it can be a very powerful and purposeful profession. But the reframe became about the billable and the targets. And it's no longer, so sometimes it's really reframing why I'm doing this. Is it the billables? Or am I trying to achieve something else? Maybe I'm trying to make a difference for somebody. And when it's about corporates, definitely in corporate law, we sometimes think, yeah, it doesn't happen there. Every business is a people business. Every negotiation is with the people. That person might be representing a company, but you're talking with a person. You're talking with a human. So every business is a people business, but that doesn't mean that every person means business. Again, a very important reframe.
Yeah. I agree. Couldn't agree more than this, Eve. Uh, with this, I really cannot thank you much enough for sharing your incredible journey and valuable insights with us today. Eve, your story is truly inspiring, and I'm sure our listener have taken away a wealth of knowledge and motivation. Remember, each step we take in our careers and lives is a step forward for our greater potential. Stay inspired, keep striving, and until we meet next time, take care and keep pushing boundaries. Thank you so much. Thanks, Eve.
Bye.
Thanks.